Today we're going to be rating AI-generated Magic the Gathering cards. So, we're going to be R&D. Are they printable Magic cards, or are they going to be Zybers that it danger? Let's take a look. We're going to start off with the Bear for Spirit. The Bear for Spirit is a black 3 generic enchantment with all the planeswalker abilities. +2, untap all lands you control, which is broken by itself. +1, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. It's just automatic Snapcaster Mage. Oh, but it looks like it balanced itself out because -9, Bear for Spirit deals 20 damage to you. Why would you even want to activate this ability? Is this even legal by any stretch of the imagination? It's like a planeswalker that can't die. It's an enchantment with planeswalker abilities. It can start with nothing and then you just go +2 and boom, it's got planeswalker loyalty abilities. Or does it become a planeswalker? This is so broken. Even if you are allowed to use all these abilities, so we're gonna have to go on the Bear for Spirit. But I like this. I like the spirit, you bear. I like your spirit. It's a good spirit. All right, the Boarding Scorpion. The image is something very scary, like a nightmare out of Pulp Fiction. We've got a black 1 generic 2/2. Whenever a Boarding Scorpion becomes blocked, it gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in that player's hand. Whose hand? Whenever it becomes blocked, gets +X, where X is the number of cards in that player. Who's that player? I have no idea. Becomes blocked. I guess blocked by the person who has cards. Okay, so they have to be empty-handed. It sounds like this actually could be a real card. We attack, they block. It's going to get big, depending on how many cards are there. And then, yeah. So if you're empty-handed, it's just a 2/2 creature. But if you're super loaded, if it's very early in the game, it's going to get enormous. It's actually quite... Oh, it's a typeless artifact? Oh, is this a new setup? No, I'm just on vacation. I gotta keep the show running even when I'm on vacation. It's a typeless artifact creature. That's true. It's just the artifact creature. It's the artifact creature of all artifact creatures. It gave birth to the other artifact creatures. Hello there, PM. If the player gets down and dirty and block it himself, and then give it trample. No, it's not possible. It's not possible. I think we can print this card. This gets the thumbs up. So for anyone that's wondering, I can simulate almost everything from the regular show, but no sound effects. Yosick Firecat. Blue 3 generic. Usually not a lot of blue cards are, have a fiery theme to it. But it's a shapeshifter, so okay, that makes some sense. It's a 2/4 flash creature, enters the battlefield, destroy target non-basic land. Oh my god. Just flash it and play. Boom. It's gone. It's not a bad creature by itself. 4 mana for a 2/4 creature. And you imagine blinking this thing because it's an ETB. Bumbin 1 after Beforance. Common to their owner's hands. Exiled. Return Yosick Firecat to its owner's hand. It fell apart in the end. They had us in the first half, but in the second half, I think they lost us. The AI got extremely ambitious. It's like, hey, we're making a spicy card here. And then now I don't understand what this card does at all. Yosick Firecat. Growing a beard? Well, not really. I don't know. It's more shadow than anything. Anyway, so this card makes no sense, so we're gonna have to give it the double thumbs down. Double thumbs down. Makes sense to you, Nicholas? Well, perhaps you'd like to explain. Okay, but the Planar Sands for a blue, we've got this enchantment aura, enchant creature. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it's a 0/0 elemental creature with haste, and it's still a land. I guess if it was a land, you put this on the treetop village, the celestial colonnade. What else? One of those creatures, fairy conclave. But it's basically removal, because if you put it on a creature, it becomes a 0/0 and it dies. It's only 1 mana. This is finally the 1 mana removal blue has been waiting for. Then when enchanted land dies, return that card to its owner's hand. So maybe that's actually relevant to the lands. You turn it into an elemental land, it dies, and it just goes back to their hand. So if it was a land creature, you get it back. But if it's just a regular creature, you keep it. No, it bounces the creature back. Is it all bounce? I think it's still a land, or does it become a land? It says just enchant creature. We can enchant anything. Or does anything become the land and then you bounce it to their hand? Which in that case, this card became terrible. It's just worse than Vapor Snag or Unsummon because it's sorcery speed. It's broken. Let's print it so that it gets banned immediately. It's not a good removal. It won't work on anything with a +1/+1 tokens or any Anthem effect. Oh, true story. Well, it depends on the Anthem effect. If it's like Merfolk, all other Merfolk get +1/+1. Well, it won't work because it becomes an elemental creature. Or does it become an elemental in addition to its other types? I don't know. This card is still a little bit confusing, but I think it's okay. I think we can actually print this card. It gets the thumbs up. 0 equals, yes, it's dead. It will die. That's the whole point of this thing. Blue removal finally has become something. All right. Zerta Donderheit Dite. Black 2 generic for a 4/4 flying human wizard. Flying when Zerta Donderhaut Dite dies, draw a card. All right, that's some great value. Then each player draws X cards, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. That is interesting. That is a fresh, unique design. Everyone's going to get a little bit of value, and you get to replace your Zerta because it's dead. So everyone is happy at the end. This is a group hug card. Witherfang approves, completely approves. This is going to be in your next commander, I don't know, commander deck, pre-con something. That artwork is already hilarious. I love the AI streams. The AI comes up with new magic cards that we've never heard of. So anyway, let us all know if you'd be piloting the Zerta human wizard. Spark Smith, blue-white 2 generic, 1/3, legendary creature. It's a Djinn. Oh, thank you very much, everyone, for telling me what a Djinn was. There was like, actually, I don't know what's the difference. Okay, Djinn and Ifrits. There's some of them are good and some of them are bad. So there's always a cost. There's a catch to your wishes when you're wishing with those genies. So anyway, this is a legendary Djinn. Flying, blue 2 generic. Exile Spark Smith from your graveyard. Create a 2/2 blue elemental creature token with flying and vigilance and lifelink. And if it's your turn, each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard gains tap, add 1 mana of any color. Each instant and sorcery card in my graveyard can be tapped for mana. I'm speechless. Do you know what but this actually makes me think that this is It's funny how the AI thinks. They're finding completely new design space in Magic the Gathering. Why don't we tap our cards in the graveyard? Why is it that they can only be tapped in play? Especially some of the graveyard cards. Like I said, let's say a Gravecrawler, the creatures that come back from the graveyard. Certainly, they should have activated abilities in the graveyard. It wouldn't even be hard to tap something in the graveyard and acknowledge it because everything usually is pretty much straightforward. The AI is bringing new mechanics, Uncle Carl. The AI is bringing new stuff. I think I like the mechanic, but I think it's broken. I think it's broken. I think being able to imagine Storm being allowed to do this. I mean, I don't think Storm would play the Sparksmith, but just imagine. You only have to exile it from your graveyard, so Storm could just get it discarded, then exile it, and then use all the instants and sorceries to add a bunch of mana. Existing card name fail. Excellent. Spark Stiff. Okay, Spark Smith doesn't pass the card name test. There's too many words on this one. The Soul Lieutenant, white 4 generic, 4/4 flying. Gets +2/+2 for each +1/+1 counter on Soul Lieutenant. Okay. At the beginning of each end step, if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, scry 2. Whenever you cast a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Soul Lieutenant. Holy shit. This is going to get big really fast. Insanely fast. Whenever you lose life, discard a card. If you do, return Soul Lieutenant from your graveyard to your hand. That actually is a huge cost there. That is an enormous cost. So let's say you basically someone bolts you, you lose all the cards in your hand, but you can bring Soul Lieutenant back from your graveyard. Hold on, no, wait a minute. Okay, whenever you lose life, you discard a card. If you do, return Soul Lieutenant from your graveyard. Is this is this an ability always in play from the graveyard? For 5 mana, this actually isn't broken. I think it's, well, this is really strong if you can get this thing out really quickly, because for every counter you put on this, it gets enormous. It's basically every counter gives it +3/+3. Essentially, is what it's saying. Right now, you can't tap stuff in the graveyard because they're not permanents, but that's fixable. That's right. The AI can fix anything. Magic the Gathering is a game where you're breaking rules by inventing new rules. There's nothing wrong with saying we can't start tapping our permanents and our spells from the graveyard. Geez, that's going to be a beefy boy. The last ability would only be used from the graveyard. Yeah, I guess so. So I guess when you get hit, you can bring it back from the graveyard. Whenever you lose life, that could be from anything. You could end up losing the life. You could play Force of Will on something and bring your Soul Lieutenant back. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this broken or is it fair? I think it's broken. I think this is pretty broken. I actually think this could see... maybe it can't see control play. This last ability sucks. You get bolted, you have to discard all your cards. That's a pretty hefty price to pay there. These cards read like novels. Some of them do. So is this the modern Masticore? It could be. Such a good card, but at the cost of your hand. I think it's fair. All right. If it's fair, it's fair. It's going to get the thumbs up. Moving on. We've got Mirror of the Mind. Green for generic sorcery. Exile target creature you control. Sweems! Put Ant player's library into your hand. Exile Mirror of the Mind. Okay, hold on. So sorcery. First, exile target creature you control. Then we get to Sweems. Put Ant player's library into your hand. We get somebody's library. I don't know under what circumstances or how. I don't know, maybe Sweems is a condition. If you don't use the cards, you gotta give them back or just exile them perfectly. But then we exile Mirror of the Mind. Mirror of the Mind. It actually is flavorful. We are trying to take our opponent's library, some player's library, and put it in their hand. We could also put our library into our hand. I didn't consider that. You could exile your own creature, take your own library into your hand. I just don't know what Sweems means. If your opponent is an ant, you get their library. That could be the case. Put ant play. Oh, so we have to put the ant player's library into our hand. Do they use ant as a companion? Okay, we'll get back to this because we have to talk about today's sponsor. You guys love sponsors. I love talking about sponsors because they pay me. FusionGamingOnline.com. The Universes Beyond Warhammer decks are out. If you're interested in starting your Commander journey and you're somehow a 40k player, I can't relate. I've never played 40k before. Maybe you want to start with this one. And you can buy it from FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu, though, to get 5% off all your purchases. And it also supports the channel. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Why? Because if you like to play a lot of decks, because you can't sit on one deck you can't sit on a deck for even 1 day or 1 week. It ends up becoming cheaper because you can rent all the decks you want. It's a ban list saver because when they ban cards, they don't ban your cards. They ban Mana Traders cards. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_RUE. And now, back to the delicious AI-generated Magic cards. Whoa! What happened here? Gonna get back to the one that we had here. We had the mirror of the mind. The mirror of the mind. Whoa! Whoa! Thank you so much. Finally caught you live again. Is it really so hard to catch me live? For anyone who watches live, like, is it easier if I started an hour later or something? I don't know. Everyone's always like, I finally got ya. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so, and it's got a bunch of ants on the picture, so I guess you have to be the ant player in order to take their library. I still know what sweems means. So it's gonna get the double thumbs down. Doesn't make sense. And probably bad card design. Oh, God. Do I have to read this one? King Heath Guardian with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 abilities. The AI actually squished the image so that they could put more abilities for this homunculus. Black, blue, 1 generic. For only a 3/3 creature, it's not even that big of a deal. It's got trample. Oh, 3/3 creature with trample. Oh, I'm so scared. King Heath Guardian's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your hand, and has, when this creature dies, add a red. But I thought it was a 3/3 creature. What happened? What happened to the rules there? At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice King Heath Guardian unless you pay a green and 1 generic. Oh, we're bringing that ability back. The classic, pay this amount of mana or you lose your creature every turn. Okay, hold on. There's more upkeep costs. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice King Heath Guardian unless you pay black. When you cast a spell during your main phase, you create 3 treasure tokens. You're gonna need those treasure tokens so you can keep paying the stupid upkeep costs. You have to pay 7 mana to keep this guy around. Black 4 generic. Creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain vigilance until end of turn. So you actually cast the spell, get enough mana, treasure tokens to activate that ability once. And then you can pay 1, create a blood token. You burn it. It's a goner. And it's a stupid card anyway. Alright, so thumbs down. Da-da. What a stupid card. Nantuko Guardian. Green 3 generic. Oh, I think this is the first level up card I've ever seen out of here. So for 4 mana, we get a 3/3 creature. That's very reasonable. It's got level up 4. So levels 1 to 2. Basically downgrades the card. That's unique design. So we pay 8 mana for a 0/5 wall, essentially. And then when we can get this thing to... What happened to level 3 and 4? Look at this. We go, okay, levels 1 to 2 turns a 3/3 into a 0/5. And then we skip levels 3 and 4. They don't matter. Maybe by levels 3 and 4, you go back to a 3/3 creature. And then level 5 plus, it's a 6/3 with flying. I don't know what to say. This is a pretty garbage card, but like, I think you can print it. If it was level 3 plus, this would be better. I don't even think it would be playable in the first place. 4 mana is like a lot of mana to turn your 3/3 playable into a 0/5 unplayable. Junk! Bad, shred it. It danger. No, it don't danger. That's why we're gonna shred it. The King Heath Guardian, that danger. But the Nantuko Guardian, it don't danger. Okay, this is a really nice picture. We've got the Dusk Bar toadrex, blue-white 1 generic for a 2/3 rats. All right, the rat fam. You're getting represented here by the AI. Duskbar Toadrex has flying as long as it's enchanted. When Duskbar Toadrex enters the battlefield, you may put a pirate card with mana value 3 or less from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. That actually feels flavorful. So, you know, there's a lot of expressions like when a rat leaves the ship, but if the rat stays on the ship, there must be a pirate at the same time. Looks like a tumor growing from its neck. You know what? The AI does that a lot. There's a lot of random growth coming from animals and people. It's pretty common artistic style of the AI. Or there's like the double face. There's like a face looking this way and another face looking the other way. This card is really cool with Ragavan. Oh, Ragavan is a pirate. That's right. The pirate monkey. The pirate monkey. Okay, nice card. Print it. All right, let's print it. 3 mana. Put in a Ragavan deck, I guess. Has flying as long as it's enchanted. It's not. I don't think it's broken. I don't know many pirates for 3 mana or less that it would get broken. Okay, Ghostly Mutation. White, red, blue, instant. Ghostly Mutation deals 1 damage to any target. Clash with an opponent. If you win, destroy all non-black creatures. Then create a 0/1 Kala Serpent creature token. Deals 1 damage to any target. So we could deal 1 damage to you, and then have the chance to blow it all up. And also, if you're... Do you know what's weird, though? Destroy all non-black creatures. This is not going to be played in a black deck, so you can't take advantage of this. This is actually interesting. They could print this. Wizards R&D, are you taking notes here? Are you ready for the Ghostly Mutation? It's a clash that might blow up the whole board. Is Mutavault a changeling while it's a land? It technically isn't, actually. You might as well call it a changeling. It's just a 2/2 creature with all creature types. They did not actually give it technically changeling. What is Clash? Both players reveal the card on the top of their library, and then whoever has the largest converted mana cost, or sorry, the largest mana value, then you win the Clash. So in this case, we would clash with the opponent. We reveal the top card of our library, and then if we have the largest mana value card, if my spell costs 5, yours costs 2, then I won the clash, and we destroy all the non-black creatures. Yeah. Oh, CMC. Hey, that's old tech. We now call it the mana value. The value of mana. Apparently, converted mana cost was too complicated for people, and it was a very long card. All right, this gives a thumbs up. This is a good card. Ghostly Mutation. Could happen. All right, now the Lightning Horror. Black 2 generic for a legendary human wizard. Very sad-looking wizard. Looks like an album cover or something. They've got the... I don't know, some sort of intellectual trademark property here. Anyway, Flying Haste, very unusual for a human wizard in black. 6/6 Flying Haste, what the hell? As long as Lightning Horror is untapped, non-creature artifacts you control get +1/+1. Is this broken? Like, it looks pretty good, but these days, you know, what is a 4 mana 6/6 Flying Haste? Like, who cares? Guys are like, this is broken. Shred, what the F? LOL. Give me that. You know, all you have to do. And then, you know, it's really broken because it can't even get blown up by Ghostly Mutations. Only the non-black creatures get blown up. This card is all sweems. It's not broken, but it's pretty good. You know, I mean, 4 mana 6/6 flyer has seen a lot of play in standard, but not with haste. And it is legendary, so you can't chain like multiples of these on the battlefield. It's off color, and it should be red, but it's definitely not broken. It's pretty good. Still not as broken as Questing Beast. Questing Beast was small, and you could actually block it. Flying is it's an underrated ability. Let's just put it that way. It's one of the best abilities since the beginning of time. Is there any reason for the last ability? No. Absolutely none at all. Non-creature artifacts. Oh yeah, it's non-creature artifacts you control get +1/+1. You're like buffing up things that are not even creatures. That doesn't make any sense. Nikachu, you need swag that says it danger. Ghost? It's in the works. Don't worry. I am thinking about that. It gonna be it danger. I'm gonna make sure that you, us coffee crew, have it danger t-shirts and apparel. What makes the wizard fly? Is he just floating in the air? Maybe his levitational plank or something. Actually, it looks like he's in the water, to be honest. He float in water. Is that a stick coming out of his hand? Okay, last ability makes no sense, and it could potentially be broken, so 2 thumbs down. Or sorry, we'll just have 1 thumbs down. Da-da. Da-da. It's that haste that makes it dangerous. That's actually true. We've had a lot of 6/6 flyers without haste be perfectly fine in Magic the Gathering. Oh, we got a planeswalker with a very bizarre hat. Blue 3 generic, Yan Lashi, Serendi Reclamation, 3 loyalty. Welcome, Yan Lashi. +1, creatures your opponents control get -1/-0 until end of turn. Oh god, that is just so terrible. -3, scry 5. That ability is trash. All right, let's spend 5 mana so that we can scry 5 off of this. Then, okay, this last ability is a bit weird. It's -2 +2 loyalty. Take it for... Okay, I guess you could do either or. If you want, you could go down. If you want, you could go up. The choice is yours. Create a 2/2 black, 3 or more creature token with flying. This is one of those cards that's going to hurt my brain just trying to think about it, just trying to understand this thing. I could go +2 and make a 2/2 black, 3 or more creature token with flying. Okay, we know that it's going to be at least a 2/2 creature. I think this is unworkable. Why would you go down, though? Maybe you need to, I don't know, get around... Maybe there's some, like, Planeswalker hate cards where activated abilities cannot be played if the Planeswalker has, like, 4 or more loyalty. So you actually want to, like, be low on... I'm just speculating here. You know what? Maybe when we go through more AI-generated cards, we'll understand the metagame that it was creating. It was prepared. There's not like many hate, like outside of like Pithing Needles, there's not a lot of hate cards for Planeswalkers. 3 or more tribal, crit 100 tokens. Create a 2/2 black, 3 or more creature token. That doesn't make any sense to me. Just ignore the last thing. If you have 3 or more, you gotta win the game. Maybe you don't want your opponent to steal the Planeswalker. There we go. Yeah. Maybe that's the reason. Anyway, I think this card sucks, and I don't even like reading it. Sorry, Yan Lashi. Sorry about it. I have no idea what on earth is going on with the image there. It's a very, very, very strange hat. Oh! It's the token is called 3 or more. It's literally the name of the token. What a bizarre name. Why would you name your creature 3 or more? Hello, hit 3 or more. All right. I'm hanging out with 3 or more tonight. Whatever the hell that means. I guess it's 3 people in one card. Okay, we can reinterpret this card. Create a 2/2 black, 3 or more creature token with flying. I got it. And I guess there's a lot of 3 or more. Yeah, now it makes it's all coming together, people. It's all coming together. It's 3 witches. And they have flying, which is fair for witches. They you know, they got brooms and stuff. It's all about the brooms. Yeah, the witches coven, that's sure. Exactly. We got a super chat. Thank you so much. Wow. Middle ability, it go in Eligeth commander deck. Instead of scry 5, you draw 5. Ah. So there is a way to break the damn thing. And Broccoli says, what if a card has whenever 3 or more creatures attack, does it trigger off the token? I do not think so. Okay, Concisier Pyre, black, blue, 3/1, Rhino Soldier, devoid, which means it has no color. Them rhinos. That makes some sense. The rhinos are gray. Ingest. Oh, I don't remember. Is this like an Eldrazi in disguise? Because they're the ones with devoid and ingest. I don't remember what ingest does, though. And then pay X, stamp. I think that's a new one. Is that an ability? You know, sometimes I'm like, this ability doesn't exist. And the rest of you in the comments section are like, Nikachu, how do you not know this ability? It's like, it just came out in the latest commander set. Well, I don't actually, unlike many people, or actually just like many people, I don't pay attention to every single set that comes out because I can't keep track of them all anyway. So X and stamp and hexproof from Wizards. Stamp them. Ingest is exile the top card on damage. Ah, yes. That's right. And I think it's just exile. It's like a milling thing. Exile, and you don't get to use it. Is stamp something? Hexproof from Wizards. Wizards of the Coast, perhaps? Hexproof from the very thing that tried to invent them or print them. Cannot be targeted. Stamp is from the new unset? What is stamp then? I have no idea what it does. We had stickers, now it's time for stamps on cards. Oh, is it the same thing? I think that's not the same thing. Imagine if you stamp cards. You have to like keep track of all you won't be able to get rid of the stamp. You have to sleeve. You better make sure your cards are sleeved when you stamp the cards. You got to keep those stamps throughout the entire tournament. Imagine a tournament like that where he gets an ability with a stamp and it gets bigger progressively throughout the tournament. All right, some people like this. I don't know why. I think it's a pretty stupid card. So anyway, we'll give it the thumbs up, I guess. We'll print it. Conceiver Pyre, you've been conceived, and you will exist. Is that a gun? Is that a weapon of some sort? A very primitive sticks and stones weapon. All right, we've got the Real Bester Denizen. Red, 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 blue, 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 one generic. I like those casting costs. They have to bring those casting costs back. I hate how people can so easily cast their cards off generic mana. I think that's really stupid. We need to bring in very heavy blue and red cards these days. 5/3 elemental. I thought it was going to be a dragon. Looks like a dragon. And then underneath, it's a green rooting dragon. That's an ability. So I guess it's an elemental that gets to pretend to be a dragon. Skip your draw step. That's abysmal. That is unacceptable. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, target creature gains trample and gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is its power. I don't know if that's worth skipping my draw step, though. Busted Shred now. This card is horrible. Does not fly. Hey, it's just like the penguins. Penguins don't fly. Not everything with wings can fly. Sometimes they've been domesticated. Just stay on the ground. I know it's terrible. Double the power for every spell. Is that how it works? Whenever you cast an instant sorcery, target creature gains trample and +X/+X until end of turn, where X is its power. Oh, I guess that can be broken. Maybe that is worth it. So you just cast a few spells for free, and all of a sudden, this 5/3 becomes a 10/3, then a 23, then a 43. You just one-shot them. Actually, this is pretty good. They actually balanced it out. The skip your draw step might not even matter at this point. You sure about that, PM? You want to donate this thing that like doubles the power? 20 years ago, it would have been broken. Maybe it's still broken now. I don't know. I can't tell. It's hard to cast. At 7, by the time you get 7 mana out, you can't cheat this thing out with soul rings or mana vaults or anything like that. You got to pay the red, you got to pay the blue. You might as well end the game at that point. Am I right? Some of you people, you don't like your commander games going longer than like 6 turns. So at that point, it's like, okay, at least somebody's trying to win the game. Anyway, whatever. Okay, we'll give it the thumbs up. Even though it's a green rooting dragon, we don't know what that means. We'll give it the thumbs up. Very tentative. Oh, we got a land. I love it when they make lands because they're usually busted as hell. All right, Sun Veteran. Whenever a boss mountain, I don't know, is that like whenever a boss mountain put a swamp creature on the battlefield, an opponent may surge X counters from target creature. This makes absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever. I think this is a point where we find that. Has anyone seen that Darth Vader picture where he's in the shore and he's pouring water from a container into a Brita filter, and it says this picture makes no sense? Perfect F&M card. I don't think it's perfect at anything, to be honest. Pro Obliterator says print it. Print it. No, I think it needs to be destoried. Destoried. Destory this thing. I'm giving it the thumbs down. Makes no sense to me. Moving on. Fantan the Wind Vice. Person's just chilling out over here. Dwarf Assassin. Very decorated assassin. Red, red, one generic, 2/2. When Fantan the Wind Vice enters the battlefield, if it's goading as Fantan the Wind Vice is if it's goading, I guess it becomes a spirit. Fantan the Wind Vice gets +3/+3 and has flying and can't have or become that are target other Ornish permanents you control. Can something goat the moment it's coming into play? Great for goading decks. Hey dog, I'm assuming you're a huge fan of the goading. Today, you know, Wing of Shu, all day is really hard to read these cards. That are targets. Rum in the coffee? Probably I should for the AI generated days. If it's goading as Fantan the Wind Vice is a spirit, Fantan gets +3/+3 and has flying and can't have or become that are target. All right. You make no sense, Dwarf Assassin, so you're not going to get printed. What an absolute nonsense card. Marsh of the Nary. White, 1 generic, 1/1, elf druid. I like that. You know, an elf druid that's also like a marsh. Your life total becomes black and green and white spirit with menace. I have nothing. I got nothing. I can't even make color commentary on this comment. It's the spirit of your life total becomes black, green, and white. You become Abzan, I guess. Your soul becomes Abzan. You're an Abzan player now. Send this to, what's it called? Co-Diamonds. Attack with your life total. Your life total becomes black and green and white with menace. Maybe that's what they're saying. Your life total can attack now. So if your life total is 20, well, you know, it's a creature. And if the creature dies, you die. Andrew says, how many black and green and white spirit with menace -5? Print it for Pokemon. You become goth. When your life total becomes a spirit with menace. It sounds like that's what they're implying. Like, you now become a creature. And maybe your and like if the creature dies, then you die. Whatever. Without further information, thumbs down. We're not printing this thing. AI, you have... So usually we can print a lot of your cards, but we can't print anything today. The back tile. Blue, white, white, 2 generic. Artifact land. It's coming to an affinity deck near you. Fox Fendancy +4. Whatever that means. Remove a 4/4 blue elemental creature token. And you may tap or untap another Dogson. All right, so I'm imagine Dogson is some sort of variation of a dog creature type. So far in Artifact Land. Or maybe it's a mechanical dog. Okay, it's an Artifact Land with a cost. It's an artifact. You have to pay mana to put this land into play. Or what does that mean? Or is it like an artifact? Like, can we just put this in play and it just has a converted mana cost? So like the fact that it has a cost sort of means like if you blow up all permanents with converted mana costs like 0 or less or artifacts, then it won't hit this one because it actually has a mana value of 5 mana. So it plays around engineered explosives in some... Oh, no, EE does never hit lands. Anything that blows up lands with a small converted mana cost, it would play around it. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but there's a green spell, 1 green, destroy target artifact with converted mana cost 3 or less. This plays around it perfectly. Yeah, lands are free. You don't have to pay 5 mana to put this thing into play. I'm gonna cast my back tile. Explore back tile. Back tile, back tile. Gets around Karn. In some ways it is. I just googled Fox Fendancy. This card is literally the only result. Hey, we got invent words. Wizards of the Coast more or less invents words all the time. Hey, we're not gonna print it because the Fox Fendancy, we don't even know what Fox Fendancy is or what Dogson is, and it's a pretty stupid design card anyway. A land with converted mana cost. Ooh, I like this. They should have got a picture of something from Among Us. This probably was inspired by Among Us somehow in the AI universe. Shaker of Imposter. I like that. It's sus, or it's Saker. Is it a Saker of Imposter or Shaker? 3 mana for a 0/3 creature, whatever that creature is. We know it's a creature. Can't tell. It's in its uniform. It could be anything. Could be is it crew or is it imposter? When Shaker of Imposter enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a creature card with mana value X, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. This actually is new. Is it broken? It's a 3 mana tutor for anyone. You could just put the creature directly into your hand. It's an imposter. It just looks like a creature. Oh, it's mana value X. That's right. That is right. What is X? We don't know. X is undefined. So if it's undefined with mana value, maybe it's like Walking Ballista and Hangerback Walker. If it has a mana value, I think maybe that's what it was going for. Like, it's specifically the XX creatures, or an X creature like a Stone Coiled Serpent or something. Yeah, an endless one, stuff like that. Searches for mana value of X. I think so. I think that's what it makes. So you know what? Now all of a sudden it actually looks pretty fair. Would go in every artifact deck. Like, it's just 3 generic mana. You could throw that in your... Would that see play in Hardened Scales? I think it's supposed to be a sus hacker. Oh, maybe that's true. That could be it. Yeah, it's a sus hacker. Sus hacker of Imposter. For any 3 mana, yeah, ship it easily. X tribal for the win. You know, sometimes I look at Hardened Scale decks like it's X tribal for the win. All right, well, I like it. I like this card. It passes. Ding ding. Okay, the next one we got is the Battle Squad. Black 3 generic 1/2 Phyrexian Angel. Ooh, that sounds dark. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Battle of Squad. It gains menace until end of turn. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a counter on Battle of Squad, gains menace. It's perfectly fair. There's nothing wrong with this card at all. In fact, maybe it's like underrated. Whenever you cast non-creature spell, it's like a really clunky champion of the parish of some sort. But it gains menace, though, so it's really hard to block. And it's like, I guess it's an angel that doesn't fly. Is it a 1-winged angel? Nuh-huh. When you go Phyrexian, you don't need to fly. All right, so we can print this card. It's actually quite lame. It's quite lame. Oh! They're bringing a vanilla back. We got the Skalkin. It's a frog sands, and it is literally a frog on the sands. Red for generic for a 5/5 creature. Just chilling out there. It's red for some reason. Maybe because it's poisonous. That is possible. It's a staple. Ship, print. Everyone's very excited for the ship ribbit, I think you mean. It's a frog. Print the froggo. We need this. This is the makes me wonder, what if Wizards printed something like this? Would people like desperately try to collect it? Cards that have incredibly cute art but are just generic vanilla creatures. All right, Scargs, Skalkin, you've got the approval of the coffee crew. The Scargs, Skalkin. All right, what's going on here? The Sonseal Sneiver. Red 1 generic for a 0/2 Troll Shaman. This is the worst filter land of all time. So we're paying black 1 generic. We're gonna tap it and discard a card so we can get the full black out of this thing. It's not broken. Just in case you need that extra black mana. Love this I love this filter. It will go well with that creature really early on that needed black at your upkeep to keep it around. Yeah, it's the worst fixing. It's the most dubious fixing I've ever seen. Madness enabler. Oh, you guys are creative. You're making use of things that. And you could also discard it and you get the mana at the you get the mana at the same time. Would you get the mana by the time you've discarded the card? So then you get the mana to pay the cost of the madness card. It's the card Rakdos is missing. Printed is just awesome. Wait, it's a snow creature, so filters for snow mana, does it? It's a snow creature, would that work? I guess so. Now you can play Necropotence if you only have black. That's right. All of a sudden, it's the Necropotence filter. Good with Unearth? I guess so. Anyway, I have nothing bad to say about this card. And it sounds like it has some potential if you want to discard cards as well. Probably could see playing Reanimator. You know, you pay 3, tap, discard your Reanimator target, also get the mana back. It's essentially you tap it for free. Something like that. Yes, it adds 3 snow black. Is that how it works? I've no idea. All right, play your Dead of Winter or something. I don't even think it requires snow mana. Okay, we got the Varizot Grove, blue, white. Oh god, it's gonna be broken in blue-white decks. 4 loyalty. It's Kemin. +1, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature with the same mana value as Varizot Grove. Oh, see? That's why you might want to go down on the Planeswalker ability of that last Planeswalker a long time ago, so that's at the same mana value of Varizot Grove. But I don't even know what you would do with the +1/+1 counter, because it's not even a loyalty ability. Alright, and it can gain flying, so your Planeswalker can fly. Is that relevant? Can creatures on the ground attack a Planeswalker that flies? That actually makes some sense to me. That last ability, they fly now, so it's cool. So I think if we interpret this correctly, let's say, I guess people attack the Planeswalker, and then all of a sudden you give it flying, and only flying creatures can probably deal damage to it. Makes sense to me. Can a player fly too? Who knows? Can only be attacked by flying creatures. Probably that's what it should have said. But maybe it's like a way of responding to creatures attacking. So all of a sudden it's being attacked. I'm in the air now. Sorry. See you later. I fly. Wow, they fly now? Why not? If wizards can fly, why can't the planeswalkers fly? What, like, are they like are they not airborne or something? They're not aerodynamic? Does the magic not work anymore? Then it makes that's actually a huge flavor fail. The planeswalkers don't fly. Some planeswalkers definitely have to be able to fly. If you can fly, I can fly too. I'll get back to you in a minute. All right, I think I like this card. I like the design. I think it's untapped design space. I think planeswalkers should be allowed to fly. Chainblood, blue, 3 generic, cumulative upkeep of blue. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may gain 1 life for each creature card in your graveyard. Gain 1 life for each card in your graveyard. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, so for each card in your graveyard, you're going to gain some life. The Chain of Blood. This is a flavor fail. I don't know why you're gaining life from the Chain of Blood, but I guess they're all dead, right? Somehow we're sucking the life from the dead things. And the creature entering the battlefield is basically helping you gain that life. You can gain a lot of life. The blue life gain player's wet dream. That's fine, it only gains life, I agree. Color Pie Break, but cool card. Blue life gain from the graveyard, yes. Cumulative upkeep of blue, so you gotta pay another blue next turn, then 2 blue, then 3, then 4. 15 cents. 15 cents bulk rare. And with that, we're gonna give it the thumbs up. All right, it sounds fair. Who wants this life gain card in blue? Someone wants this card. Someone who makes like a blue white deck or something like that. Okay, can anyone see this full card? Maybe can I shift? What can I do here? Okay, I'm just gonna have to tell you what it's called Zombie Wastes. So the first half is Zombie Wastes, white sorcery with buyback 6. Interesting. Search your library for an artifact card, put it onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? And it's buyback 6, so you can do it again next turn. Search your library for an artifact card. It's just 7 mana, tutor the damn thing. So first off, we don't even need the buyback. You just 1 white mana, search your library, and put the damn thing onto the battlefield for a single white mana. This thing is disgusting. Anyway, and then the second half is Crossbow, which is a red and 3 generic. Create a token that's a copy of target attacking creature. Who cares about that side? Yeah, Enlightened Tutor that tutors into play. Turbo Tutor for W. We got we've broken card alert. It danger. It danger. This card, it danger. And when it danger is activated, some other cards trigger. Amberbush is like, that's insane. It danger for sure. Yeah, everyone bring out it danger. Hashtag it danger. Can sorceries be cast during combat? If you can make your sorceries be cast at any time, you could have cast an instant, and I'm sure you guys know how to do that. Tinker on, yeah, it is Tinker on steroids. That's right. They balance this card by making Crossbow unplayable. Print it, mirror support. Can't even use Crossbow because it's sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target attacking creature. That's true. Alchemist's Refuge. There are a few cards that allow sorcery to be cast at instant speed. Tinker, more like Stinker. I think I have my thumbnail, people. 1 white. Tutor into play, then shuffle your library for 1 white mana. Vintage restriction or ban immediately. Time Vault on turn 1. Yeah, that's right. All right. Obviously, we cannot print it because for the reasons of it danger. And it danger really bad. Okay, we've got a we have a purple card. Hipster of Unsocross. Or Unsocross. Black 2 generic for a 5/5 nightmare. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, gain control of target creature an opponent controls until Hipster of Unsocross leaves the battlefield. That is neat! That is neat, actually. So it actually, what it does is it prevents people from casting 2 cards each turn. So it's like a tax, almost. If you want to play 2 spells, I get to take anything. I get to take control of target. I gain control of any creature that's on the battlefield. So you got to make sure that I could take your cards. I could take your creatures. Also, it could be a super political card like, hey, you cast 2 cards. I'm going to take the stupid big thing. But then watch out, because maybe I'll use the big thing on you. Card is absurd in Commander. You got to make sure you don't cast too many cards at the same. Don't play too many spells. Or then this thing will it danger. It'll it danger everybody. This card is absurd in Commander, says James. Broken with these stats. It's only you could get this out really early. It's a great hoser for go wide creature decks. Now remember, you could play a spell like once each turn, but like if your deck plays at sorcery speed, then it's gonna really suck. 4 cost for 4/5 with no drawback. That's right. Well, it's gonna make you the target. Hold on, Wing of Shu says it does say target, so hexproof stops it. Okay, true story. So if you have like a total hexproof deck, you don't care about the stupid Hipster of Unsocross. Turn 1 Blightsteel Colossus. Sorry, just thinking about that. Or turn 1. Wait, what would you get actually with the with this guy? How many people would get turn 1 Blightsteel? I think that would turn you into the target. I think a lot of people would. I don't know. Would you get like that tomb of that dragon, the evil dragon? There's that stupid artifact where you can cast cards off the top of your library. Bolus! Is it Tomb of Bolus? I don't remember the card. I don't play it. I think it's a cool card. This is a cool card. We're gonna print this one. Ding. The Keeper of Glorified. Love the name. Finally a name that makes sense. Blue, 1 generic for a Naga wizard. That's a 2/2 creature. It's got flying. It's got graft 1. And whenever a creature you control dies, put a counter on Keeper of the Glorified. That's right. It glorifies the dead creatures. Actually, it has some flavor there. I think this is good stuff. We can actually give this a thumbs up as well for everyone who's... I don't remember what graft 1 is, though. Isn't that an artifact thing? I think graft is an artifact ability. What's graft? I don't remember. It's a graft MTG. Graft is a keyword ability introduced in Dissension expansion that is associated with the Simic Guild and works by allowing... Sorry, this is going to be a little jank. Works by allowing a creature with graft to move a counter, +1/+1 counter, from itself onto a creature that just entered the battlefield. That actually, there is a few graft cards, I think, in Modern right now. Okay, so you can... So if a creature enters the battlefield, you can give it a counter. There we go. Craig's on the list. Craig uses the graft ability all the time. So anyway, cool stuff. No, it comes in with a +1/+1 counter. Then whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you can move a counter onto it. Sweet. Graft is such a backwards ability. Move counters from one card to another. So I guess what it is as creature dies, you put counters on this thing, and then a new creatures enter the battlefield, you give them the counters. Neat card. We've got the Bloodfire Golem, which is a 5-mana 3/3. Golem in Spirit because the creature type. There is no creature type here. Sometimes the AI forgets that creatures need creature types. Bloodfire Golem enters the battlefield with 3 scream counters on it. Ah! Then we can pay double blue, tap, add 1 mana of any color. What are the scream counters for? What are we gonna do with the scream counters? What's the point of that? I guess maybe there's some other mechanic, like remove a scream counter from a creature to... What would it do with, like, target creature can't attack this turn? Like, remove a scream counter and a target creature can't attack? Maybe we just don't know what scream counters do. Scream counters that do nothing. Honestly, I'm okay with that. It could do something. I love how it has the scream counters just for the vibes. Well, maybe it does something like how like, for example, we don't know what a vigilance, like, if no one explained what a vigilance counter was, we'd be going like, well, what is that? But we know what a vigilance counter is. We just don't know what the ability scream does. Maybe it can't be blocked, or can't be blocked by like 1 or 2 creatures. I don't know. You need to block with a lot of creatures. Because it's scary. Scary stuff. Alright, well, that's it. You heard the music. That's it for Coffee and MTG today. But thank you very much. If you want to be part of the show, we do this Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thank you so much, everyone who supports the channel with memberships and super chats. It lets me know I got to keep doing this show, and we're gonna keep rolling on. I got to do it. Even when I'm on vacation, we do the show. That's how important the show is. But thank you so much for everyone for joining me. Because otherwise, it'd be pretty lonely. And it'd be pretty weird if I was just talking to myself the entire time. You guys are the show. You guys are what makes Coffee and MTG so awesome. So, as usual, keep brewing up those coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.